Raiders, it's time to pull some prism shards. We're gonna do one right now. Get ready. Boom, we hit one. Are we just gonna hit gold? We immediately get a void. We immediately get a Fear Gun Ispiel. Not terrible. The Fear Gun Ispiel I already have will be used for my Mikage fusion, so I'm not sad. We got quite a few more pills coming for you this video. We're going to break down all the potential anniversary summons. But first, I got to tell you about the best start in Raid. The very best start in Raid comes if you go over to use my code. What's my code? My code is epyre.com/snap. That's epyre, epyre.com/snap. I am Snap Judgments. This is a Raid Shadows video, and I'm going to get you the best start in Raid. I'm going to get you the best way to beat Demon Lord Clan Boss of any promo code. We've got Narma the Returned as your free legendary champion if you start right now. She's got the poison sensitivity. She's got the decreased damage for things on poison. She's got the poison activation and leech and decrease attack. She's amazing. You download it, you get her. You've still got the codes. We're going to do another video real soon where we go over what code you should use in the first 24 hours of your account. But you're also going to get, when you hit rank 10, Venomage. Venomage and Narma synergize perfectly. They're going to decrease attack from a single enemy by like 50% when combined. It's wildly strong. We've also got, when you reach 20, one of the best epics in the game, Seeker. And then to tie the room together like a beautiful, beautiful rug, we've got Tyrell. If that sounds good to you, we're going to epyre, epyre.com/snap. Make sure you do that. Download the game. Let's go. All right, let's talk about some of the things. Hush. Ooh, it's actually not terrible. Not doing it, but not terrible. We're going to pull our summon pool today. I just want to show you some of the things we're hoping for. Let's start with the epics because that's what we're likely to get. The thing I'd most like from the epics is Lion's Guard Galatea. Lion's Guard Galatea is an attack so enemy. Place an extra hit if the enemy's under decreased defense. Obviously, we'll run her with that. And decrease turn meter by 10%. So, decreased defense, 2 hits. Decreased turn meter is just a nice thing to have. Block Revive, also really nice to have. Ice Golem is my worst enemy. I absolutely hate the Ice Golem. It is my single worst dungeon. I can only beat it at like hard 3, and this is just an extra thing. An extra block reviver is good. This will be my like third block reviver. I have Ref, I have Fennex, and I have an unbuilt Hansel, so we're really, really cooking. We might just be able to just turn that into an easy dungeon. We also get a turn meter fill, so we're getting extra turns there. Love to see it. 3 turn cooldown. Attacks all enemies, ignores 15% of defense for spirit, but 25% otherwise. Really nice, just casual. And activates Apex Slice skill on a random enemy whose HP was decreased more than 50% from the skill, once per skill. So when this works, we're going to get an extra hit out of our A2 with the block revive. I.e., we use this to like smack the face off one of the minions, and then they automatically get killed and can't revive. And then a casual, before attacking, 25% chance of removing any decreased attack buffs on the champ, replacing them with their mirrored equivalent. Also, removes increased defense on enemies and replaces with their mirrored debuff equivalent. Just nice stuff, right? This is a really, really, really good epic, a hard hitter that we will be excited to get. We also have a bunch of champions like Enda Moonbeam, like as you saw, Feargun Ispiel. Those are champions that are used to get Lady Mikage. Those are the Lady Mikage fusion pieces. They're amazing for that. What else? So that's what I really want, right? Like I want Ispiel. The other one I'd really like to get my hands on is it you? No, it's not Endalia. You're another fusion piece. There's 2 that I like actually wanted. No, both I wouldn't hate. But the other one we really want is we want Galapo. We want Galapo the Recluse. Galapo was the fusion for God, whichever fusion for Yukimasa, I believe, and you had to use all of them to get Yukimasa. And I like him, I wanted him, and I never got him, so I had to use him to fuse. So a nice attack all enemies heal on the A1, love that. Heal all allies by 15% of the champ's max HP and fills turn meter of all allies by 15%. That's glorious. And a 25% increased resistance buff. Eventually, I want to build a resistance team for Ice Golem, so that seems real nice to me on a 3 turn. Then how about just a casual revive? So a single ally, but 75% HP, 50 turn meter, and unkillable and reflect damage for 2 turns. I'll take that all day, every day. Heals the champ by 25% max HP whenever an ally dies. All allies by 50% whenever this champion dies. That's awesome. He's got so much healing, so much revival. He's the turtle that never was. I think he's really, really great, and I would be excited to pull a Galapo. Outside of that, I wouldn't hate to pull a Tagore, someone I've just avoided 16, but I probably shouldn't, right? He's got a nice 5-turn heal, not the best heal in the world, but it gives a shield and it's not bad. And then he's got sorry, that's the revive, and then that's all allies, by the way. Then he's got the heal that comes with the increased speed. I wouldn't mind if I get an extra one to him and I can empower him. I wouldn't hate that. I got a Darendil. Darendil is a big damage dealer who veils himself and ignores 50% of defense. Single target damage dealer, one of the best damage dealers for among epics, so I wouldn't hate getting Darendil. The one that you should want if you don't have him is absolutely Deacon Armstrong, who's a legendary in disguise, a speed lead on an extra turn with a basically 30% turn meter spin and a permanent decreased defense buff, along with a little bit extra leech. This is a phenomenal hero. I would empower the crap out of mine if I got another. I would also be happy to empower Vogoth, who comes with the best passive heal of epics. Whenever the champion's attack heals allies by 50% of damage, 25% from bosses, and the champion receives half heal. Fine. Also can leech attackers and provoke attackers. Just a generally really, really good champion overall. And then, of course, the absolute wrecker of worlds, wrecker of chimeras, really. That is Farcane, who's got the best ally attack on a 4 turn among epics, increases the crit rate, increases the crit damage, and then they all attack. Um, Blocks 20% of all incoming damage onto all allies from the champion, and then attacks one enemy with a burn and a poison. Really, really, really great into Chimera, even the decreased defense on the A1. Just overall a great, great champion. Another one I would happily, happily empower if I pulled an extra of without any concern. Allure is really good, by the way, if you're new. You only use this, and then you can basically clear Fire Knight normal with her because she's going to make it so once you break the Fire Knight shield once, she's going to always attack him 3 times and remove his turn meter by 75%, assuming you get her crit to 100. So Allure is really great at that. I've got Allure at 50. I've got Newt, so we don't have to worry about that. Newt, who I have, I would actually build a second Newt. If I got a second Newt, I wouldn't empower him. Is one of the best in the game. He comes with a decrease attack, a weaken, and a counterattack buff, which is fantastic. He's one of the best damage dealers in the game. Attack one enemy 3 times. Each is going to decrease target's defense by 3%, up to 30. Each is also going to heal champion by 30%, and it's a max HP triple hitter, so he can like one-shot Spider up to 20, and then he's just amazing damage thereafter. One of the best in the game, one of the best champions in the game, period. And then an 80% chance of turn meter by 50% on a triple hitter. 100% with books, up to 100% of a triple hitter, and it can be a freeze too. He's the best Fire Knight champion in the game, arguably, and he's just an absolute god. I would happily take another Newt. We've got Cheshire Cat, who I'd be fine with, mostly because my Demon Spawn are quite weak. Nice 19 in all battles, and he's just a big old damage dealer. He doesn't do anything fancy or fantastic. He just hits real, real hard. I wouldn't hate Cheshire Cat. Stalk the Broken is another speed lead. We again want speed leads. Speed in all battles is great. He's a poison burn, 80% chance of 2 poison, and if targets are under burn, it's going to be more poison and weaken and so on. He can also heal. He's going to activate that poison and burn. He's just really really sick. If you get our friend, I just lost her name because I'm trying to talk about too many heroes at once. But if you get our friend Narma, then this is a really sick champion to go with it. Vestiel, I don't really know. Let's check Vestiel. Uh, 50% chance to remove all buffs, not bad. Steals buffs instead if it's not on champion's turn. That's really solid. Uh, Attacks one enemy before attacking, 50% increased attack, and Shatter on the champion. Shatter is great. Will ignore block damage and skull and skin, also great. Extra turn if it kills an enemy. If the target survives, we all get 30% turn meter. That's really nice. Attacks enemies before attacking, weaken on all for 2 turns. Okay. Can't be resisted by targets with attack lower than this champion's and ignores 25% of each target's defense. That's fantastic. Extra hit on enemies whose attack is equal to or lower than the champion, so we just pump the attack up and we're good to go. Unkillable and counterattack on the champion for 2 turns. On a 4 turn, that's pretty damn good. Not a speed lead, right? Yeah, attack in all battles. Attack in arena? Ugh, lame. All right, 50% chance to deal 100% more damage against enemies whose attack is equal to or lower than this champion. Receives 30% less damage for enemies whose attack is equal. This is unbelievable. Estelle seems fantastic. I believe Vestel Riverthorn is an SS tier over on Ayumi Love. Shouts to Ayumi Love for the great content. I have our friend Packmaster Shaik. So I would very, very, very much like Crocahead. That would make my life far easier. Crocahead is a ridiculous damage dealer. Um, it does more damage if under debuffs, place weaken. Ridiculous damage and basically attacks all the time if Shaik is on the same team. Shaik is a supporter. This is wild. And this just does crazy, crazy damage. They're one of the best pairs in the game. Something I'm psyched to have. Amok, the first satrap, is one of the lesser ones here. Steals a buff for 2 turns with a leech, fine. Uh, decreased resistance and a pain link debuff and a 30% speed. Heals allies by 5% max HP for each debuff placed, so it's a big heal because you have 1, 2, 3 debuffs. Decreased speed is huge, and debuffs are protected on bosses, so bosses are just stuck. And then like you get a 15% heal by max HP. Not bad. Block debuffs on all allies is fantastic. This is why I would want him because that is amazing into Iron Golem, and Iron Golem is one of my problem champions. Heals all allies by max HP, heals by initial 3% for each debuff, removes debuffs from allies negatively affecting stats, and replaces them with their mirrored buff equivalent. So decrease attack becomes increase attack, so on and so forth. Heal reduction. Debuffs like block buffs, heal reduction, weaken, and so on will be replaced with block debuffs, continuous heal strength, and so on. Doesn't do decrease crit rate, decrease crit damage, and so on, but like wildly good block debuffs champion with a nice little HP aura and a max HP increase whenever you heal, stacking up to 50. Just not bad at all. We have, of course, Armand's, who is one of the best arena champions. Of course, I recently, if you watched my video, you need to watch my favorite video I think I've ever done on Raid is the one where I went for Bayek, so you should check that out. Oh, he grabs a sacred shard. But Armand's, I have on the way there, I got Fabian, so I don't super need Armand's. But hey, look, speed in arena at 28% is wild. Sheep is wild. Whenever sheep stops, they get their cooldown increased is wild. Um, Steals turn meter for all targets. They're not sheep means extra turns and stuns an enemy and turns their cooldown up. He's fantastic. I would be very, very happy for Armand's. Wallmaster Tharian is one of the best Hydra champions in the game, one of my focuses. Attacks all enemies, won't trigger counterattacks, fills turn meter 5 for each living enemy, so that's 25% against Hydra. Tactical enemies, first hit is block buffs for 2 turns. Sick into Hydra, second hit, decrease attack. Sick into Hydra, fills turn to 5% for each living enemy, again 25%. Um, and that's a max HP, just for shits and giggles, right? And then 50% increased attack, 50% increased accuracy, increased speed, and an extra turn. And just casual increase max HP by 20% for each enemy killed or Hydra head decapitated, up to 50,000 extra HP. Fantastic. One of my top choices in the game, not like in this pile. Then Keberon the Underflame is just a nice decreased defense um and can attack whenever an enemy. Oh wait. That's the Argonite, baby. Yeah, okay. So we're definitely pulling for this, right? So 60% decreased defense for 2 turns. Love it on an A1. And this just happens whenever a burn tick happens. Ignores unkillable and shield and places a death brand on target for 2 turns. Attacks one enemy. And then if this gem activates the Pyranny power skill, if the target is killed, if it survives, you get a bunch of turn meter, so more turns. Attacks all enemies before attacking 50% increased accuracy. Places the burn on all enemies for 2 turns. Fills turn meter by 20% for each burn placed on enemies. And yeah, and 10% for each resisted. And then a casual activates delay on this champion whenever they receive a fatal hit, as in they survive for a bit. Heals champion by 20% of max HP whenever a burn is activated. So heals all the time from the burns. Loves burns placed by him or anyone else. Whenever a burn expires or is removed, places a true fear on them. It's kind of a lame aura, but everything else about this first shot at an Argonite is pretty sick. We got Harima, one of the best arena damage dealers. Decrease attack and on all enemies. Attacks one enemy 3 times, each decrease target's defense 5%, stacking up to 30. Also increase champ's defense 5, stacking up to 100. Then double defense. Instantly activates Celestial Awe. All enemies and provokes them. Can't be blocked or resistive. Champions from the Demon Spawn faction, so whether it's from Demon Spawn or not, being able to provoke the whole goddamn enemy team on a 3-turn is sick, and this one deals stupid damage. Enemy ignore defense effects are decreased by 50%. Champions from the Demon Spawn, whatever, and we don't care about Demon Spawn enough. Just a great, great damage dealer for Arena. We have Varen Leka, the Thrall Mother, who's a nice weakener. 3 hits, really nice. Attacks all enemies for attack, removes all buffs from all enemies, places block buffs. You love to see that, and decrease defense. A Reviver for all allies, 50 and 50, but 75 and 75 if she's the last one alive, and decreases their cooldown. And increases cooldown of all enemy skills. Increase cooldown of all enemy skills by 2 turns. Wildly good for various content. Turn meter 20% whenever an ally dies. Heals by 20% max HP whenever they attack by an enemy or pain link. Keeps them alive. And places the pain link on enemies who deal 25% or more max HP damage to anyone. We've got Noldua, who I have. I don't really want a second Noldua. This would be my big miss, I guess. I wish Solinar was here, but this is our big reviver, the most recent fusion. I'm not covering her again. I've covered her 8 times. I also have Sanguine Maria, who I don't really want another copy of. I use her for Arena, and she's fantastic. If I get her, but I don't want her. Nishak is the second best bomber in the game. 75% of increased detonation count of bombs by 1 turn, increased duration of all poisons by 1 turn. So bombs go off fast, places 2 bombs for 2 turns, then gets the extra turn, so it immediately starts ticking. Um, if max HP is equal higher to 200,000, will deal double damage. And attacks 3 times, 40% chance of placing a bomb on even the A1. This is the second best bomber in the game after the legendary Commodus, who I have. Sorry, the mythic Commodus, who I already have, but I would not be setting Nishak. Stultus is kind of fine. Like, he's not amazing, but decreases target's turn meter if they're under debuffs. A nice all enemy stun, a nice increased defense and increased crit damage and decreased speed. And then whenever an enemy attempts to weaken, decreased defense, poison on the champion reflects them. Damage increased by 5% for each debuff. So if you run a lot of debuffs, he deals some decent damage. He's not amazing. Who is amazing, my number one choice of all, is always Vault Keeper Wixwell. I've been dying for him forever. Attacks one enemy 2 times and has a provoke. Lovely provoke for 1 turn. If it's a boss, it's 100%. So awesome. 80% chance of decreased attack for 2 turns and decreases the duration of all ally buffs by 1. Increases value of all shield on all allies. The value of each shield increases proportional to the total number of buffs which had their duration increased. So you get a billion buffs and you get a ridiculous shield, unbelievably broken with another champion who's not here, but just fantastic. 2 intercept stacks, not bad. 6% increased defense, shield on all allies. Value of shield is proportional to defense. Again, you love it. And he gets a counterattack every turn. Just one of the best champions in the game. Increase all defense in all battles by 20%. One of the best champions in the game. All right, with all that said, let's pull and see where we are. We hit an epic. We have our second Darendil. When we end up going to build Darendil, we will end up using Darendil. We will have Empowering Darendil. Empowering damage dealers is important. We hit Tagore. Looks like we're finally going to 6-star Tagore, and we can empower our Tagore. We still have 5 more, so we're just going crazy here. We hit Bauf, our first Bauf the Rancid. We didn't actually talk about Bauf, so he removes 2 divas from allies and heals them by 10% max HP. Lovely. Increased accuracy, also lovely. Attacks all enemies, 70% chance of decreased accuracy on all enemies. Increased duration of all ally buffs by 1 turn. Increasing buff duration is great. And has a 25% chance of 100% heal reduction for 2 turns. We can make that a 50% chance on a double hitter. Pretty damn good. Heal reduction is really important. I don't have a ton of it. He also decreases damage all allies from poison by 50%, so just specific content in battles, he's going to be great. We continue on. We hit another epic. Hey, Balf. Okay, shoo. Another epic. Oh my god, 3 Balf in a row. Thanks, game. We got another Siege Hulk. We have 1,000 Siege Hulk. Only 2 left. Siege Hulk, just so you know, I have a 6-star sold for Siege Hulk, so I'll build him for that eventually. If we get decreased defense or decreased speed, turn meter decrease is not bad. Increased attack is fine. It's just on this champion, though. It is an all enemy attack after that increased attack, and a 75% chance of 60% decreased defense debuff, so it's a good damage dealing attack. And then this is the big one, 30% crit rate, 30% crit damage on the champion for 2 turns and attacks 1 enemy. But we also get the decreased speed, right? 100% decreased speed, which is what the real use is here. Not a fast champion, but, you know, it's not terrible. We got 2 left. Are we whiffing completely? Yet another allure and our last one. Are we just sad days? We might just be sad days, friends. We are pure sad days for this. We are a Vogoth. We are a Vogoth of all things. What? At least we can empower our Vogoth quickly. That is, look, we're not happy with these pulls, and there is no mercy. There's very, very often a mercy written somewhere around here, but it does not appear that there is one. If there were one, I would probably pull a little bit more. I really, really, really do want to hit a Lego here, but so be it. We whiff on our summon pool. Still worthwhile. Look, at the end of the day, I mean, look, not worthwhile. We whiffed hardcore. These pulls were, in fact, completely rancid, but I still think it's worth a pull. See what you can get. See if you end up with something cool or powerful, and go to town. Um, hmm, hmm. We're probably gonna do one more quick pull. Everybody, don't close out the video. Download epire.com/raid. Do it now. Do it now. Do it now. Do it now. I'm gonna be a jerk. We're gonna go figure out where we can buy that last thing. I'm gonna do a couple more pulls. I'm gonna do a couple more pulls for you because it's the anniversary event. A couple more pulls is how we are doing this. We're gonna do the where is it? Chain anniversary pack. We're gonna do 160, $40. Blow the money. Goodbye the money. You can yeah. So this will be in my account in 1 second. I just have to press OK over on the Plarium part side of things. Gonna use my lovely Patreon money for this a little bit. 90% of the Patreon money on our Patreon goes back into the Marvel Snap community, and then this little bit went right here. So we decided to go that way. All right. Let's see if we are sad we did this, shall we? 40. We're immediately Deacon. Empowering Deacon is one of our major goals here. All right. Now we got to go back and we got to say go into the vault. Boom. Another epic. However, we got Lion's Guard Galatea, so that's pretty damn good. We already established that she was our big want here. So Lion's Guard Galatea, we have ooh, Aishma, we don't care. We have Aishma already. And then is our last pull a whiff? We have doubles of Lion's Guard Galatea. All right, well, we officially have our first look, as junky as that is, as weird as this sounds, sooner or later our is it Guardian Ring? No, our faction guardians. We have our first epic faction guardians at the very least. So this was a giant whiff. Honestly, kind of a waste of money, but I'm not that sad because raid is fun, and hopefully you join me in this game. And look, if you're newer, you're basically guaranteed a good pull from this. So enjoy your anniversary summon pool. Enjoy this really cool raid anniversary, and go get Norma the Return. Epyre.com/snap. Peace.